Hello there, YouTube. I want to show some results of some grain that some grain spawn I've been inoculating. These are pretty much corn, grain mixed with coffee, and yeah, I mean different ways for example, this one's cooked, this one's uncooked. Um, I just want to share the results. So far, I mean the best results have been this corn. I mean, here's uncooked corn, and we can see it's pretty much fully inoculated. All I did was soak it for 24 hours, drain it, and yeah, put it in pressure cooker. Um, the thing with corn though is I noticed that it takes a couple days um, for you to actually see any growth, but once it does, it just absolutely explodes. I mean, like, the difference between this one and this one. I mean, this one will probably end up being like this in about 1 or 2 more days. This is all about 1 week of growth. So yeah, let's go one by one. So right here is a mix of corn and grain. Um, Pretty great, pretty alright results. Not too bad. This is grain, but with only one vent. So see how I did two holes on most of them. You can see that it really does not make a difference. Right, so this is one hole vent, and this is two hole vents. Both cooked grain. Yeah, we can see, the results are pretty much the same. I mean, there's also some variability, right? So, like, for example, here's also a cooked grain jar, and we can see it's barely inoculated, maybe a third of the way, versus this one, which is about 3/4 of the way. Regardless, it's the most impressive one is the corn. I mean, it's just exploding, and the mycelium is just way thicker. So again, this is the uncooked corn grain. All it is soaked, and you can see the mycelium literally growing on the glass. I mean, that's just shows how good it is. This is corn grain, but cooked and unwashed. So after you cook corn grain, you'll notice that the grain leaves this sticky residue because of the starches. Pretty much you're cooking the starches into sugars. And this is with the sticky stuff left, and we can see. I mean, it's honestly it's not too much different from the uncooked one. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see on camera with the reflection, but there really is not much of a difference. Next is the uncooked. So this is uncooked grain. This is wheat grain, by the way. And to be honest, it's pretty disappointing compared to the cooked one. The cooked one definitely has the mycelium is just a little thicker. You can see that the mycelium is just like this one. You could barely see it on the camera, but here you can clearly see it. So yeah, definitely cooking the grain, at least wheat grain, seems to help. Obviously, the final results will be with the actual fruiting and yields. So right here is, well, since it's grain spawn, you just want to get the as quick of a mycelium growth as possible. So here's some uncooked coffee grounds. So pretty much it's wheat grains, and I threw in some coffee, and I didn't cook it. To be honest, this is probably the worst ones I've seen. Very, very. I mean, you can't even see the growth, the mycelium on the camera, but there's some like right here, a little right here. And there's the coffee grounds that is cooked. It can also, I mean, it's probably just coloration, since it's a dark substrate. Here's some coffee grounds with that is cooked. So, well, no, yeah. So it's grain, added coffee. Pretty much, this is the same exact batch or bucket of grain with coffee. It's just that this one was cooked and that one wasn't. So pretty much the way I cooked it was I just put it in a pot, simmered it for a couple minutes, and then I drained it out. And yeah, here's finally the cooked and washed grain, corn grain. Yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, it's primarily based off cost, if you also include cost, and results, just based off results. I mean, this is a fully inoculated jar. It's uncooked. Same thing with the second one. You can see the difference and how this one's fully inoculated and what it looks like when it's not inoculated. So yeah, I hope this helped someone. With realizing that you don't need to spend. I know a lot of people spend almost like $20-$30, for a bag of rye grains online, when you could just go to your local farmer's store and get some cracked corn for. I mean, right now it's like $9, but before China was buying all our corn, it was almost like $6.50 per bag. So definitely worth trying corn.